Oh, hi everybody, Andrew Bull here. Ever since the event of Mega Evolution for Pokemon X and Y, I've been kind of more interested in my Pokemon games. And of course, it got me thinking about the Pokemon I've been using for about all of my years. I started off Pokemon from, well, watching the TV show first, and then I got into the game after finally I forget what birthday it was, but I remember it was around the time the Pokemon Yellow version came out. And that was my first Pokemon cartridge. And so from there, I pretty much started from Pokemon right there. Later on, I finally got a Pokemon Crystal version for my Game Boy Color. It was pretty fun. I mean, I couldn't catch the other two legendary dogs for the life of me. Heck, and I caught Lugia only, except Ho-Oh, so oh well. My loss is someone else's game, probably. And then when Game Boy Advance came out with Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, Leaf Green, Fire Red, I got with the two obvious choices, Emerald and Leaf Green. And now let's talk about today. For my Nintendo DSi, I got Pokemon Soul Silver. So this brings back the memories from the Johto journey with a few twists. I mean, I could go into detail about it, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm actually here to talk about my top 10 favorite Pokemon. Regardless of stats, regardless of looks, regardless. This is based on feeling. Like any Pokemon trainer would have for any Pokemon they care about. So this is my top 10 favorite Pokemon. From Heart Gold, Soul Silver, but mainly Soul Silver. Number 10, Pikachu. Okay, I know, Pikachu at number 10? Why? Because Pikachu's the mascot of Pokemon, that's why. Anybody would choose Pikachu. But there is another reason. Pikachu was actually my very first starter Pokemon, and my first Pokemon cartridge of Pokemon Special Yellow Edition. And it was kind of cool. It was like I was acting out the TV show with my very own Pikachu, and I was able to get all the other starter Pokemon like Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle. It was awesome. Pikachu, you are my first Pokemon, and I thank you for this journey. Number 9, Mewtwo. Again, cheating because, well, Mewtwo is the ultimate boss, and you would think this would be in my top 5. But Mewtwo has always been at the top 5 at some point. But I like Mewtwo because, well, he's the powerhouse. And yes, I do use him in my Soul Silver. What's hilarious how I caught Mewtwo is that I didn't use a Master Ball or an Ultra Ball. I used a Dusk Ball. So, I caught a legendary Pokemon, not with the two ordinary conditionary Pokeballs, but with a Dusk Ball. And as everyone's claimed him, Mewtwo, the powerhouse Pokemon. Number 8, Metagross. Now, the reason why I chose Metagross as my number 8 because he looks totally cool. He looks like a flying saucer with 4 legs and an X across his face. How awesome can that not be? He's a Steel/Psychic type Pokemon. Now that's a pretty awesome twist of power right there. Metagross, you're just totally awesome. Number 7, SPECT. I remember when I got Emerald version, the first Pokemon to mind that I wanted to get, it was either Torchic or Trico. So I took a chance and took Trico. And I chose pretty good. For me personally, SPECT is so boss. How? Well, SPECT knows a pretty good range of attacks, but my favorite attack most of all from him is Leaf Blade. That is a cool technique. A leaf that's a freaking blade for his arm. He's like the plant version of the Guyver, for crying out loud. Not MacGyver, the Guyver. SPECT, the Guyver Pokemon. Not that Guyver! Number 6, AMPHAROS. Oh my gosh, I love AMPHAROS. If I didn't have Pikachu, then I would have AMPHAROS on my team. AMPHAROS is so cool. Heck, he even helped me to win the Pokemon League. So many times, he's so awesome. AMPHAROS, you're my man. Number 5, the Red Gyarados. I have a few good reasons why. Red Gyarados was my first shiny Pokemon, but not my first water type, but the one water type I want to use and depend on when it comes to a battle. I still find it weird Gyarados is a flying type, but I guess that just adds to the mysticalism of how awesome Gyarados is. Gyarados. The real match began with just one little card. Number 4, Gallade. And it's titled the Blade Pokemon. How awesome is that? This dude is so awesome. He could totally look like he can kick butt. What's so cool is that he's a psychic slash fighting type. 2 combos you would never expect in a Pokemon. It just blew my mind to think that this Pokemon combo was so awesome. There was no way this Pokemon could be topped. Except number 3, Lucario. My gosh, ever since I saw that Pokemon movie, I was awe-shocked at how awesome this Pokemon is. I mean, the power of Aura? Okay, I know that they were going for something else in the Japanese version, but Aura seemed to probably fit with this little scenario. I just love this Pokemon. He looks totally boss. He's a fighting slash steel type Pokemon. Awesome! Of course, I got this Pokemon from a trade, and he has served me well. Lucario, you're one of the awesome ones. Number 2, Pidgeot. This seems kind of unfair because I would expect Pikachu to be my number 2 and Pidgeot probably to be my number 10, but Pidgeot is actually kind of awesome. I mean, seriously, he's got freaking long hair for feathers, and he can be fast enough to be a freaking bullet, according to some people. I just love the fact that Pidgeot started off from a little Pidgey that I caught from a long time ago, and then, shabam, a freaking Pidgeot. Pidgeot, you will always be my wingman. And my number 1 Pokemon is a tie. Yeah, I couldn't figure out which one I wanted to be my top, because in all of honesty, these guys both were awesome. But then who are these 2? Typhlosion and Charizard. When I started off in Pokemon Crystal, I chose Cyndaquil to be my first Pokemon. And Cyndaquil, without a doubt, was awesome. I taught Cyndaquil a pretty good few moves until it evolved into Lava, and then to Typhlosion. And when I finally got my Pokemon Soul Silver, I decided to go with Cyndaquil again just to relive those old days from my Pokemon Crystal. And Charizard, again, I hardly use him in the game, but in a momentous way, I still kind of feel like I needed Charizard to be on the top. Because in Yellow version, Charizard was one of my top Pokemon I actually helped get to level 100, along with my Pikachu and Mewtwo. It was totally boss of how awesome these Pokemon were to my team. Well guys, that was my top 10 favorite Pokemon. I'm Andrew Bull. Hasta la bye-bye.